There is a prophecy the ancients told, not writ on parchment, but in growing old, of how the world beneath a dying sun would shiver and its final race be run. They spoke of days when light would learn to flee and leave the earth in cold austerity. A time of ash, of whispers turning to stone, when every soul would wander, dark, alone. This was our time. The sun, a copper ghost, hung dim and heavy on a listless coast. The air was thick with unremembered names, and hope itself was just a candle's flames. Seen from a far and long abandoned shore, a thing that once was, but exists no more. We groped through catacombs of our own minds, searching for the doors we couldn't find, while silence, vast and deep as ocean's floor, sucked every sound and bolted every door. And in that hollow, in that endless night, when even memory had lost its light, I stumbled on a room within the gloom. A child's old room, with relics of its bloom, a painted star that once had touched the sky, a book of tales, a place to question why. And on a shelf, amidst the dust and years, untouched by shadow, having conquered fears, a simple thing, a lamp of tarnished brass, its crystal prism clear as looking glass. No mighty sun, no fire from the gods, just something small that dared to fight the odds. And in my pocket, by some gentle art, my fingers found a match to strike and start. A rasp, a hiss, a sulphur-scented spark that pushed the heavy boundaries of the dark. I touched the wick. It caught. It gave a sigh, and then a steady flame began to ply its ancient trade of pushing back the dread. A tiny sun above a small brass bed, and in that light, the room began to breathe. The shadows on the wall began to seethe, then slowly, calmly found their proper place, as peace returned to that forgotten space. It wasn't much, that little pool of gold. It didn't make the outer darkness fold. The great night still pressed hungry at the pain, and promised to be waiting in the rain. But in that room, the darkness had to yield. A simple truth upon the floor was revealed. That light is not the absence of the strife. It is the choice to kindle it to life. It is the match struck in the trembling hand. It is the will to make a final stand against the tide that says there is no use, against the voice that whispers to let loose. So if you find yourself in that deep night, with every trace of a guiding star out of sight, and the vast dark is all that you can see, remember this: the light is made by thee. It is the memory of a summer's day, the note of courage you know how to play, the face of love you keep behind your eyes, the sudden truth that makes a liar of lies. It is the small, the intimate, the true. It is the spark that wakes the world anew. For in the darkest of all times, we find we are not creatures of the dark, but of the mind that knows the way to strike the flint. And then, though all is lost, turn on the light again.